one of the richest districts in Colorado in 1890, the Lake City mining district, ores were complex, often combining silver with gold, lead, zinc, and copper, making it difficult to refine. Also a problem was getting the ores shipped, especially during the winter months. Transportation was slow and uncertain at best, if non-existent. In February of 1874, the Saguache and San Juan Toll Road Company was formed, with Otto Mears the principal stockholder. They built the toll road from Saguache to the Los Pinos Agency, to Lake City, Lake San Cristobal, Animas Forks, then built on through the San Juans to Howardsville, Baker's Park, and Silverton. Enos Hotchkiss was selected as the contractor, and he completed the road on October 1874. Rates to travel on this road were as follow: 6 cents per mile for wagons and half a penny for each head of livestock per mile. While building the toll road, Enos Hotchkiss discovered gold just northeast of Lake San Cristobal, which he called the Golden Wonder Mine. On July 11, 1875, Barlow and Sanderson sent their first tri-weekly stagecoach from Denver to Lake City that took 5 days of traveling at a cost of $50 for a one-way ticket. Due to the harsh winters, at times the stagecoach schedule was canceled for weeks at a time. One winter before the arrival of the railroad, 5,000 tons of concentrates were pulled waiting to be shipped. And when the roads were open, Lake City miners were paying $11 to $21 per ton in charges. In 1876, John J. Crook built an ore concentration mill 1 mile above Lake City on the Lake Fork.
The Crook smelter was located on the south end of Lake City. It was the first smelter that was put in Lake City. It was owned by a fellow named John J. Crook, who made his money in a variety of ways. But he's kind of a famous and a rich guy, and that smelter reduced all of the ore that Lake City produced very early in the game. And the Crook smelter was located right by a pretty big waterfall right along the Lake Fork of the Gunnison River, and that water drop helped produce the power to power the smelter.
Within 2 years, Crook had also built 2 smelters. Coal to operate these smelters had to be wagoned 88 miles from the north from Mount Carbon coal mine.
The Richardson Toll Road ran from the base of Mount Carbon. I've been by it many times. You can still see the remains of it. It was started by Sylvester Richardson in 1873, the time that Richardson came out here with John Parsons' geological expedition. And that road that ran from Richardson's coal mine, which was the first coal mine in the history of the Gunnison country, ran 88 miles down Ohio Creek and then along what is now known as the Richardson Toll Road that I've been on several times, and runs through what Hartman Rocks is today, tied into the other highway that goes to Lake City, Highway 149, and then ran into Lake City to power the Crook smelter. And a lot of people think it was a toll road, but it wasn't. It was just called the Richardson Road, 88-mile, very primitive wagon road that carried coal to the Crook smelter in Lake City.
This 88-mile road would be the first from Lake City to Gunnison. Crook's operation would ensure the future of Lake City, providing a market for the local ore.
The Lake City branch of the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad came about primarily because of the booming town of Lake City on the edge of the San Juan. Lake City opened up in 1874. They were building a road through the town and found gold, Golden Fleece Mine, and one great silver and gold mine kind of opened up one right after the other, and Lake City looked like it was really going to boom.
In 1881, the Denver and Rio Grande surveyed, then announced their intent to build into Lake City, beginning construction that same year. 25 miles west of Gunnison and 36 miles between Sapinero and Lake City, with 1,000-foot-high walls of brutal 13-mile Lake Fork Canyon. This is where the Lake City Rail Branch would travel. 300 to 500 men from 3 construction companies began blasting rock and scraping dirt to construct the rail bed. Marked with canyons, gulches, plateaus, and fragmented rock, by the winter of 1881, only 2/3 of the branch had been graded due to the crews being taken to support the construction on the main line through the Black Canyon. Grading on the rail bed to Lake City was completed in the spring of 1882, but no rail was laid due to the Denver and Rio Grande announcing that they were overextended and would drop plans to complete the branch into Lake City. In 1883, Frederick Lovejoy took over the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad from General Palmer as president. Periodic construction took place on the route, but after the poor management of Lovejoy, all construction was halted from 1884 to 1886. Then in 1885, Denver and Rio Grande President Frederick Lovejoy was replaced by new President David Moffett. It took until 1889 before Denver and Rio Grande Railroad President David Moffett convinced a skeptical board of trustees to approve rail construction to Lake City. Hiring the firm of Orman and Crook, between 700 and 800 men worked on the 36-mile branch for a pay of $1.50 per day from Lake Fork Junction through the rugged Lake Fork Canyon and into the grassy upland of Lake City. Although most of the grading for the rail bed had been completed prior to 1882, most of the rail bed needed to be regraded due to washouts throughout the years. The winter of 1889 was a light snowfall year, so construction of the branch was able to continue through January, February, and March. Construction of the rails were completed July 29th, with the buildings at the Lake City Rail Yard being completed by August, and the first train arrived in Lake City on August 15th of that same year. Let's take a trip back in time and relive the operations that took place 25 miles west of Gunnison, starting in Sapinero on the 36-mile branch that traveled to Lake City, Colorado.